So, hello all together. Today we want to talk about the topic mobility in our Educast. And for that, we all know that mobility is a topic which everyone should be interested in because it depends on, it's interesting for the past, interesting for the future, and it's interesting right now because of the debate of the diesel verbot, for example. And for that topic, we have three different columns, like the perspective of the ecological point, of the economical point, and the social point. We want to introduce you our opinions, our discussions, and for that we have two visitors who want to discuss these topics with their own perspectives. So that would be Nina and Xenia.
Hello. Hi, Marvin.
Hi.
Nice to be here.
And now Nina will present her own opinion to the topic of the ecological perspective, and we, so Xenia and me, want to discuss and argue with her about this.
So, as we all know, are the streets in Germany really crowded with cars? In the morning, it takes such a long time to get into the cities because the streets are so full and everyone is trying to get to work. And if you watch the cars, most of the time there's just one person in one car. So we can reduce this with a law which says that it's only allowed to be at least two people in one car to relieve the streets. Yes, what do you think about this law?
I would say to the topic, so I think it's not even feasible in the city because when you buy a car, you don't have to have the opportunity, or you have to have another man or woman with you to drive it. So with your law, you would say when I'm driving alone with a car, so I'm going to work, for example, I'm a criminal. So because it's illegal to do it. So, and when I'm driving alone for the work, for example, and without my woman, for example, then it's illegal, and that cannot be the right way for it.
Yeah, I'm totally with you, but I think in this case you should take maybe the tram or any other public transport because everyone wants to have a car. We are more and more people, and if everyone is going to have a car in a few years, the streets are so crowded that no one can drive anymore. So we have to handle and have to do something now.
The car sharing experience, like you mentioned it, I think it's a good idea to improve that we do not have too much cars. I'm against your law or your rewarding system, which is not reward. So like you would get a punishment, for example, in form of a little bit money when you are driving alone with your car. I'm against this law because I think that's attacking the freedom of driving. But the car sharing experience against in this, I think it's much better because when you, for example, driving straight to Cologne, for example, you're driving 4 to 5 hours, and when you now share your car, you get money from other passengers only for driving to, and you would drive anyway to the city of Cologne. You would take them with you, and it would be a possibility for people out of the land like you. So when you're living only in a small village, the man would, the car would pick you up there and would drive you to Cologne. You would only pay a little amount of money for getting there. I think that's an advantage for both sides.
Sure, I think it's a good thing. A lot of people are using it, but to be honest, I don't want to take someone else in my car.
I think that depends on the mentality because right now, so
especially in our situation, in our political situation now, I'm sorry, I'm not doing it.
I think 30 years ago, the people thought in that way too, because our parents or our grandparents wouldn't get in a car with a stranger. It wasn't like that, and nobody would do it. But nowadays, there are so many people using BlaBlaCar or Uber or something else. So I think the mentality is changing. Right now, it's a little bit, okay, I would do it, or oh no, I'm a little bit scared of it. But I think in 10 or 20 years, the people are so open for it, because I think the trust will get more and more when the app or the application will get more popular, and then I think it will be a better alternative than using the tram, for example.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for example, when you're using Uber or other things, or if I would share a car, then I think you have to improve, for example, the app. Then I would write the whole information about that person online, who is driving, what kind of a person is it, a picture,
Yeah,
how many people. I think that's a great idea. Then I would also feel much more safe. But at these days, I wouldn't do it.
I think we already have this. Like at BlaBlaCar, you can give some positive feedback or negative feedback for drivers, and then they are ranked, so you can choose a good driver. So I don't know, but I
would put more details about that person on this app or website, because I think it's just for our safety, and it's much easier to...
that you feel more in this topic. So like Nina said, there are many features on it. So I was driving this weekend with a BlaBlaCar, and there were features like you can see how many Facebook friends the person has. So for example, when you would see he has only 10 Facebook friends, I think in your position you would be a little bit okay, no, maybe not. Maybe he has 10 recommendations, but he has only 10 Facebook friends. Maybe you trust more in people with a friendly based Facebook profile, and then you are like, okay, maybe I trust in this person more than I trust in someone who has no Facebook or 0 friends or like that. I think that's a good feature for getting a little bit more trust into the application. Let's cut this column down, and let's see what's your opinion to this topic. As you have seen, we are more into the social side than on the ecological side, because we talk more about BlaBlaCar and not so much about pollution. What's your opinion to this topic and what you are thinking about it in that as well? So for the next column, we're talking about the economical perspective. As you may heard, it's not allowed in many cities to drive with a diesel car because it's dangerous for the air pollution. So now we have the ecological perspective too. So it's saying that sometimes, or in many ways, the car industry lied to us, because they were saying, okay, your car is completely fine and you can drive with it in the city and you will not have an impact on the pollution of the air. For everyone who has bought a car, it was okay. So everyone was saying, okay, cool, I'm not polluting, I'm not have the possibility to pollute the air or something else. So it's good for me. But now the truth revealed, because we are polluting our air with driving the car. And now we are driving the cars, we paid money for it, and we get the punishment for not driving anymore. And for me, that's really, really strong debate about it. Now I want to hear your opinions about it.
For me, it's such a shame, the whole scandal. But I don't know, I don't think that it's a solution to forbid all those cars in the cities, because where they are going to bring those cars, they will bring them abroad, and then they will pollute the air there. So it's, in the end, it's a world, and we don't have like borders which will like the pollution will go everywhere in the world. So the pollution doesn't know any borders.
So you mean there is only the law in Germany, and whether you're driving in Germany or in Poland, for example.
The thing is, if they forbid those cars, they will bring them abroad, and then abroad people will drive them and pollute the air. So what shall we do now?
You mentioned before the CEOs. The CEO of Volkswagen mentioned that he will reduce, when the political view is not changing, because the politics said you have to do it like that. I think you have to reduce the something from 35% to 30% until 2022, I think so. And now he said, okay, when we have to do it like that, we will reduce our our amount of workers from 300,000 to 100,000. So that, and the thing is, the car industry has such a power to do it like that. So he is controlling with his power our whole life, our political life, because he can say, and it's his right because he's CEO. When you are not doing it like that, or when we have to do it like that, we will cut our amount of workers from 300,000 to 100,000, and will we get our 200,000 less workers from other countries, out of the foreign countries, because they have the power. And now, what would you do as for example, as Merkel? What would you change? Because I think there is such a huge lobby. It's in America like that too, but let's not talk about America. In Germany, it's like that. The car industry is so big, and I think they can change so much, but they can destroy as much too. So what are you thinking about it?
Yeah, I'm totally with you, but I don't know how to change this. I don't know if it's possible to change this, but because in the end, everyone wants to make profit. The car industry wants to make profit, and it's even a huge part of our economy, of the German economy. Germany stands for cars, so I don't know how to do anything against it, because we cannot forbid the whole car industry. Taxes in Germany, and if they don't get money from Germany anymore, they can move their headquarter to another land where they don't have to pay any taxes. Like for example, Starbucks or.
I think we should be not proud, but we should know the advantages we have because the car industry is there. But the other side is they have such a power and they know their advantage on Germany.
Sure.
And they have such a huge power, and I think that's the bad side of it. So I think you cannot say that without the car industry, Germany is getting better, because that's not.
It's not just the car industry. I mean, German employees or German firms, they are standing for quality, for responsibility, for good service. They are supporting our economical system.
Let's cut it the economical perspective there. So as you have seen, we have two critical perspectives. So the Dieselverbot, so the debate of the Dieselverbot, and the debate of what is the influence of the power from the car industry itself. So for us, it's a very interesting topic, and we want to hear from you. What's your opinion to it? And maybe you have a different influence for us, so we can get more impact on it. So to sum it all up, we talked now about 3 different perspectives. As you have seen, we talked about the ecological perspective, about the economical perspective, and we had always some social perspectives into it, like BlaBlaCar or Uber or something else. So now you are invited to give us your opinion, or maybe to discuss with us your opinion, and maybe we will get an influence of you and change our opinion. Could be like that too. And we are very excited for it, so be active. We are very thankful when you participate in our discussion and be a part of it and give us your opinion to the topic of mobility.
Thank you.
Yeah.